Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and these are the games leaving the collection for the month of August 2025. We have a bunch of games to go through today. We have 10 games that are kind of in the passing through section. That means they're games that I've covered, played. They never really were in the collection, they got played, and then they're moving on directly. And then we have 4 games that are actually leaving the collection. 2 that are easier, one's a little harder, and one is a little harder. We'll get to all of those as usual, timestamps to everything down below. And before we dive into this, the usual 2 notes that I try to make in this video series is number 1, is I play a lot of board games every single year, which means games have to pass through. Great games, good games have to pass through without ever sticking around in my collection. Games that are in my collection that I love sometimes do have to leave. The nature of playing a ton of new games and constantly finding new ones I want to keep means I have to be mindful of what I can actually reasonably play, and so games do have to go, even if they are very, very good. And number 2 is over on Patreon and on Ko-Fi. If you are a member of the channel, I do give away games every single month, so go ahead and check that out if you want it. As usual, I do recommend only becoming a member if you appreciate what I'm doing on the channel. Free games are a potential extra, but certainly not something you should rely on by any means. But with that said, let's go ahead and dive into it, starting off with the 10 games that are in the passing through category. And we'll start off with the smallest box. We have Tic Tac Trek. This is from Alley Cat Games. This is a cute little game that's very travel friendly, and ultimately has you playing tic-tac-toe as you take little tiles, making little tic-tac-toe shapes, and then placing your campfires on those, scoring based on the empty tiles around it. It's a quick tile placement puzzle. I think the main charm is in how accessible this game is. I think it's a little too, I don't mind light, but I think the decision space just wasn't interesting enough for me overall. It's fine. I think it gets points to the travel friendliness and the cute little tin, but outside of that, it's not a game I need to play. Then we have the 4 Doors. We're going to actually make 2 stacks over here from these to go through. We have 4 Doors. The 4 Doors from Happy Camper. Was very excited to pick this one up at Gen Con. I actually should have a dedicated review coming at some point because, well, some of these will have dedicated reviews. Some of them are in roundup reviews. Some of them are not in any reviews. But the 4 Doors from Happy Camper, designed by Matt Leacock by Matt Leacock, by Ben Pinchback, and Matthew Riddle, I believe it is. I just want to, yes, I got it right. But those 3 designs of the game, I was very excited about that because of the designs of the game. Ultimately, I found this wanting in the sense that it's not a bad game. It's just a lighter, less interesting version of Forbidden Island. I don't see a strong reason for this game. I think there's already a game that's doing what this is doing, Forbidden Island. I think that game is a little better, unless you just want Forbidden Island without the tin and slightly more accessible, so I don't know. It's one of those times, it's like Seven Wonders Architects, which does have, I guess, a large enough audience, but Seven Wonders Architects makes Seven Wonders, which is already accessible, even more accessible. This takes Forbidden Island, which is already accessible, making it even more accessible, but also a little less interesting for me. It wasn't bad. I just didn't get anything new or interesting out of this one. Then we have Tearable Quest. Tearable Quest is from Allplay. This is a game which you're going to be tearing off various pieces in order to go ahead and accomplish your goals. I thought it was more of a homework assignment than a game I realistically wanted to play. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad experience. It's just not an experience I feel the need to keep diving into because ultimately it's about tearing pieces of paper. To me, it's more about the gimmick. I think there are people who will enjoy that. For me, a fine-tuning dexterity, rip exactly this but not everything else, isn't the interesting puzzle I was hoping for. And I was actually hoping for it to be interesting. It just wasn't for me. We have Fliptoons. This is charming. I like the art in this one. I like the gameplay. I just think there's a lot of games I have. This is one of those games that I kind of want to keep. Like, from all these, this is one that was more compelling. It's a fun little puzzle as you build up your cards over here, trying to find the right cards that will go into your tableau as you activate them sequentially, trying to be mindful of how they're going to activate, how they're going to help you, how they're going to hurt your opponent. You're just trying to draft the best cards into your little 6-card tableau. I thought it was fun. I thought it was pretty compelling, pretty rewarding, great artwork. Again, I just think that it didn't necessarily wow me. It was a good game that I enjoyed, and there are a lot of games out there. So Fliptoons was the most interesting of the ones we've covered so far. We have Kado. Kado is one that I played for the first time BGA, played it in person once I got this one as well. Unfortunately, playing in person did not change my mind. This is a gift-giving game, meaning you can give the game as a gift, but you can also give gifts within the game, trying to create your little rows and columns based on the variable scoring criteria. That kind of game idea I generally like. I think my problem with Kado is that Kado just didn't feel very interesting as far as the puzzle, as far as your opportunities to reject gift, to bluff, not really reject, to make a judgment call as to what aspect of the gift you got is, and then possibly switch and not get the gift that you were given. That might sound complicated. It makes sense when you play the game. It's all about trying to predict, like, ooh, well, I think that would be a red one, or I think that would be a teddy bear, and then if you called the attribute right, you have more control over the game. I thought it just came across as kind of random. Wasn't for me, unfortunately. I like a lot of this Pandasaurus small box games. Kado is not in that category. We have Tower Brix. Tower Brix is from Cosmos. This is a fun one. This is if you like games like Decorum or Too Many Cooks, I think it's called, from Good Games Publishing. Tower Bricks is in that vein as far as the players are trying to build up these towers on the back of the box, trying to build these towers while being mindful of the different criteria that you don't actually know. Meaning each player has their own criteria of what they're trying to do, and you're just trying to be like, I'm going to move this blue brick on top, and you're like, nope, I'm going to put the yellow brick on top, and you're just trying to balance back and forth as you try to accomplish your goals, not understanding why it is that you're moving something. The goals are always compatible, so no one will ever need a blue brick and a yellow brick on top, because that would be impossible. But it is possible that one person needs a blue brick above a yellow brick, and another person needs a yellow brick on top, and therefore you need to have yellow, blue, yellow, and that would make everyone happy. So you have things like that where you're just trying to get to the greater, you're trying to get to understanding between the players as you play through it. I thought it was fun. I liked Decorum, I liked Too Many Cooks, and I like Tower Bricks. They are all fine, but to me they're all of them have been games that I enjoyed playing, and none of them have been games that I felt the need to keep. Decorum I kind of held on to the longest, and after that charm, like Decorum was like revolutionary for the time, I guess, because it was the first game that, at least the first game I played that did that. But after that, I've enjoyed the other ones because I like that general mechanic, but they're kind of games that I like seeing the new variations of them, and they're not games that I need to hold on to. Ocelot's Cave. This is one I was kind of excited for. Kind of is a loose terminology. I wasn't excited for it because when I first got it, I didn't know it existed. Then when I got it, I was like, ooh, another 2-player game. This should be fun. Let's go ahead and try this out and see if this little puzzle of trying to gather things is compelling. You're trying to line things up based on the intersection. So every time you play something, you're getting what you want, but you're also helping your opponent set them up for a good move. That core concept is cute. I think the problem with the game that I had personally is that for me, the game constantly has you checking and triple checking, and the amount of mental energy to optimize around which moves you're setting people up and which moves you should take, the mental energy just wasn't worth it for the kind of game it was. Meaning I felt I could play this game kind of randomly, in which case it wouldn't be fun, or I could play it strategically, in which case it would take me way too long to min-max and optimize everything in a way that just wasn't satisfying for what the game was offering. So it's one of those mismatches between level of investment versus gameplay enjoyment. I almost wish it was just a simpler, lighter game, or have your strategy game. This was a simpler, lighter game where you could min-max to the end of the world, and that just doesn't, I don't find that compelling personally. Please Don't Burn My Village. This is a cute game. It's a cute game, but it wasn't necessarily a great game. It's kind of a stock-taking game to a degree. I know it's weird for Please Don't Burn My Village, but what I mean by that is, at the end of the game, you're going to be judging things based off of how well the different colors have done. But that means you have time to try to rearrange where things are to penalize or help them as you go. I'm kind of distilling the core concepts, so like I'm not explaining this as well as I could be, but basically you have a few core actions you can take, some that will help yourself, some that will hurt others, and all that will, not all, but some of them will give you cards, some will let you put things into your portfolio, so to speak, for the end of the game. Again, I say portfolio, this is a dragon themed game. Ultimately it's kind of about that stock market manipulation aspect in which you have things and you're trying to manage the relative value of those things. I thought it was cute. It was cute, but that's kind of where it stopped for me, because for me this was out of alignment. The level of chaos in the game, similar to Ocelot's Cave to a degree, but in a slightly different complaint, the level of misalignment between the strategy versus chaos the game has versus the lightness of the game meant that like it kind of just felt like it was about the experience. It felt like it was about like, hey, let's do this stuff, see who wins. I felt it was too chaotic to be thoroughly enjoyable, especially at higher player counts. Like lower player counts is where the game shines, which is also weird because that's not the kind of game that shines at lower player counts, and that shines is a stretch, but it's where the game is best at lower player counts, because you at least have some more control over what's happening as you play. There's Tic Tac Slash. This is a cute one. It's a cute little wallet game that I enjoyed. I enjoyed playing through this one, but it's also pretty one-dimensional as far as what the game does. For me, I've played through a few of the different game modes, and that's kind of where it ended for me. There wasn't a ton of reason to get into it. We're actually playing 2 Tic Tac variations. That's just worked out that way. The art's great. The wallet size aspect is great. The playing cards in order to try to match and make your little sets, or if you're playing some of the variances as far as how you're trying to structure your patterns, all of that is pretty good, but ultimately replayability is not there for me in Tic Tac Slash. Level 8. I did not like this game one bit. I didn't realize it was a game based off an existing game. So there's Level 8, there's Level 8 Junior. I assume this is based off of Level 8 Junior. I'm not quite certain. But the problem I have with this is the gameplay itself is just not rewarding. But that's fine. I mean, it's Level 8, it's for Ravensburger, it's targeting Stich. Like, it doesn't have to be enjoyable. It doesn't have to be a rewarding gameplay. It has to be fun enough for a bunch of kids to play it, because that's probably the target audience. The problem is the rules were broken, in my opinion. Like, check out my review. I did a 6 small box reviews of this one. I really went into more in there, but unless I'm missing something, the rules are just wrong. They don't cover some core concepts well or at all in some cases. They say things like, oh, players will earn a bonus, without ever specifying what that bonus will be. I am 99% sure I'm right, but this is only 1 page of rules to read through, so if I'm missing something, I'm missing something. I tried searching on BGG, couldn't find anything offhand, so Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But ultimately, it was a game that was not enjoyable. Sorry, it wasn't particularly rewarding. And it was also, the rules were not complete as far as the experience goes in multiple capacities. The bonus thing was just like the worst of them. So not impressed by this one. And then we have One of Us. One of Us is a cute game from Cosmos in which you're trying to figure out how well you know your friends. The basic idea is you place something down the table. What could that thing be? It could be anything. Let's pretend that it is a pearl bracelet. Okay, let's go with that. It's a pearl bracelet. You have a pearl bracelet on the table, and all the players kind of vote who they think they associated with that pearl bracelet from the people at the table. So you're all sitting there and you're like, oh, well, Nancy likes jewelry, but Tom just went diving and couldn't stop talking about his pearl story. I don't know, I'm just making this stuff up over here. But you have to figure out who you think that you associate with the random object. So it's one of us, one of us. It's a cute concept. It's a cute concept. I've enjoyed, ooh, that was loud. I enjoyed playing this. I think it's a good game. I enjoyed playing it. The complaints I have against it are that it's very one-dimensional. There's not like cascading things that you're being mindful of. There's just a singular thing. It's not even like there's a batch of things. I'm realizing now you could probably house rule to make a batch of things. Like make a trio of 3 different things and now vote on who you most associate with that trio of things. That could be far more interesting, honestly. But outside of that, the other complaint I had, so it's one-dimensional, which means limited replayability. The other complaint I had is it's only fun with your friends. This is not a game that's interesting with the random gamer you happen to be playing with, or even that guy you loosely know. It's fun because you know each other, which limits some of the accessibility of the game. It's not a game I'm going to play at a con with people I don't know. I would only play this with people I already know because otherwise, it's just a guess. So, like, that kind of took away from the experience. And sometimes you can have interesting conversations. Some of these games are about getting to know each other. You're like, oh, you value that? That's interesting. This is it's too one-dimensional to be a getting to know you game. It's do I already know you game. So it was interesting. I had fun with it, but I had fun with it in a very specific, limited capacity. Those are the 10 games that are passing through. They're passing through my collection. They aren't sticking around. They're all games I played and decided that I don't need to add to my collection from this past month or so. But that brings us to the 10 games, the 4 games that are actually leaving my collection. And to that end, let's start off with the easiest, because this one's almost cheating, really, but this is The Wizard of Oz. I finished this one. I finished The Wizard of Oz Adventure Book game, so now it can leave. I still haven't finished the Princess Bride one, so I have to go through that one, but The Wizard of Oz Adventure Book game, I finished this. This is done. It can leave my collection, so, goodbye. That's what that is. It's good. I already reviewed these ones, but I played through the Lord of the Rings one. There's the Wizard of Oz one. There's the Princess Bride. I feel like there's another one coming up that I don't remember. Maybe I'm wrong with that. But either way, Wizard of Oz. It's cute. It's good. I like it. I had fun with it, and I'm done with it. I don't need to play it again. It's not that kind of game. It could be that kind of game if you really want. For me, it's too light to be that kind of game. So for me, this is much more about the story you're going through. Then the next one up is going to be Word Traveler. This was a fun one that I played through. It's from The Office Dog. It's a cute game about trying to get in the head of how you would plot a travel, how you chart your travel on this board full of objects. There's a few different maps to play through, and you're trying to figure out where you would go based off of certain word association cards. I like it. I've had fun with it. There's a lot of games that do this kind of thing, and a lot of games that do it better. Like, I love games like So Clover, Codenames. What's the new one? There's a new one. Oh, Alibis. Alibis is fantastic, and Word Traveler is just good. Amongst many, many, many great games, Word Traveler is a good game that I've played enough at this point that I'm comfortable moving on from it. It stuck around for like 6 months-ish, something like that. It's a good game. I like it. Again, there are other word association games that to me are so much better. Word Traveler is a bit too much rule stuff for the core concept of the game, which just comes down to that word association. Then we have Kelp. Kelp, Shark vs. Octopus. This is from Wonderbow Games. Massively successful campaign. Meaning not the game's not a campaign. The Kickstarter campaign is massively successful. This is a asymmetric game of Shark versus Octopus. The octopus is hiding. The shark is hunting. Each team has different tools at their disposal as far as how to get to the other, as far as navigating the sea lanes, building your decks, playing your tiles, all those things. Lots of fun little things going on. It's a very solid 2-player asymmetric game. I think this year there have been so many good 2-player games coming out that I'm starting to make some hard decisions about which ones I let go. Like, I recently let go Match of the Century. That was a hard one for me. I recently let go that poker one. Oh my gosh, it's not actually a 2-player game per se. Like, it's Pirate Poker. I can't remember the name of it, which I like it. I like the game, but that one left, and it's a great game. There's some really, it's not a 2-player game. I just mostly played that one in 2-player. There's a lot of really, really good games that I've been letting go in the 2-player category because there have been some really, really good games coming in the 2-player category, and so Kelp is the most recent lost one from the ones I already have. It's good. It's very good. Strongly recommended if you like asymmetric 2-player games. But outside of that, there's just lots of good games and hard decisions have to be made. And then the last one for me is a big box one. It's one that I've always known might go. And today I'm pulling the trigger. Today I am pulling the trigger on this one, and that is going to be, oh my gosh, it's a big box. It's Burncycle. And I do have the whole box here, so give me a second here. I didn't need to grab the whole box, but I did. It's Burncycle. Burncycle is great. This is truly an amazing game. Like this is one of those hard times where you have to make hard decisions in life. And Burncycle is an excellent game that I really enjoy. And the bots are so good. Like it's one of the, I don't like the fact that I'm getting rid of this. I really genuinely don't. But I also recognize the games that I'm getting tabled and the games that I'm not. And Chip Theory Games already has so many fantastic games that are not necessarily easier to table. They have like 20 Strong, which is easier to table. They have other games that are just as hard to table, but that I'd rather play. If anything, Burncycle is actually a little bit on the easier end of some of their complex games, but like I know Too Many Bones better, and I like Too Many Bones better. Too Many Bones is a better game. Elder Scrolls is a better game. I was gonna say Burncycle, but not Burncycle's here. Cloudspire. Cloudspire is a better game. Burncycle is a really good game. It's a really good game. I've had a lot of fun with this one, and the abilities are second to none. The sheer variety of maps, of missions you can go on. I think Chip Theory knocked it out of the park on this one, and even as I say that, it still goes down to one of the lower games for me from them. I'm not getting rid of this one because it's not a great game. It's a fantastic game. It's really... Sometimes it's hard to get rid of games. It's not as hard as it could be because I don't pull this off the shelf as much as I would like to, and that makes it a little easier. But my love for the game, my appreciation for the game, that makes it a hard choice. But again, every single month I find new games I want to keep, and so every single month I have to go through the hard choices of which games do I reluctantly let go. And this month it's Burncycle. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Stay tuned for a special bonus episode of games I'm getting rid of this month, because there should be one, I believe it's going to be after this video. It may have gone up before this video. There should be another bonus episode of games that I'm getting rid of this month that is not really called the Games Leaving the Collection video, but rather it's 10 games I'm getting rid of for a whole different reason, and there are some fantastic games in there as well. Honestly, Burncycle could have made that cut, but it ended up in this video instead. It lasted one more video. Well, because even though this video is probably going up before the other video, I filmed the other video before this video. That's the complexities of the timey-wimey wibbly-wobbly. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.